You know that feeling when you're trying to sleep? That prickly sensation on the back of your neck like someone's watching you? Yeah, I get that a lot. That's why I always sleep facing the wall. It's a little trick I learned to convince myself there's nothing behind me. A solid, unmoving wall. Safe, right? That's what I thought, too. Last night was like any other. I finished up some work, brushed my teeth, and crawled into bed. The room was dark, silent except for the faint hum of the city outside my window. I pulled the covers up to my chin, turned my back to the empty room, and faced the cool, familiar plaster of the wall. I closed my eyes, ready for sleep to take me. But then I heard it. A whisper, so close it felt like it was inside my head. It was a dry, raspy sound, like dead leaves skittering across pavement. It said, "Good. Don't turn around." I froze. Every muscle in my body seized up. My heart hammered against my ribs, so hard I thought it would break free. It had to be my imagination. I was just tired, half asleep, my brain playing tricks on me. My room was empty. I knew it was. I'd locked the door. The window was shut. There was no one here. But then I heard breathing, slow, steady, and definitely not mine. It was a shallow, wet sound right behind my head, so close I could almost feel the warmth of it on my neck. My own breath hitched in my throat. I squeezed my eyes shut, praying for it to stop, for it to be a dream. I told myself, just go to sleep. It'll be gone in the morning. But it wasn't a dream. The breathing continued, a constant, terrifying rhythm in the dead silence of my room. A minute passed, then two. It felt like an eternity. My mind was screaming a silent, frantic shriek. Turn around, look. But my body wouldn't obey. A primal fear, deeper than any I'd ever known, held me in place. The whisper had warned me, don't turn around. And then the voice came again, the same scratchy whisper. But this time it was laced with something else. An unsettling, ancient glee. We've been waiting for you to finally hear us. Us? We've? The plural sent a fresh wave of ice through my veins. It wasn't just one thing behind me. My room wasn't just occupied. It was crowded. I could feel it now, a subtle shift in the air pressure, the sense of many presences packed into the small space between my back and the other side of the room. I could almost imagine them, shadowy figures standing shoulder to shoulder, all staring at the back of my head. Waiting. What did they mean, waiting for me to hear them? Had they always been here? Every night when I turned to the wall, thinking I was safe, were they gathered behind me, watching me sleep? The thought was so violating, so horrifying, it made me nauseous. All those nights I felt that prickly sensation. It wasn't my imagination. It was them. And now, for some reason, tonight was different. Tonight I could hear them. The breathing got louder, a chorus of soft, wet inhalations and exhalations. It sounded like a room full of people trying to be quiet, but failing. I could hear faint rustling sounds like old fabric shifting. A floorboard creaked near the door. My mind reeled. What did they want? Why now? Why me? Another whisper, this one from a different voice, higher pitched and thin, like a child's. He's listening. A low chuckle answered it, a sound like gravel rolling downhill. My own breathing was ragged, loud in my ears, but I couldn't drown out the sounds behind me. I was a prisoner in my own bed, pinned by sheer terror. I lay there, rigid for what felt like hours. Every nerve was on fire. I didn't dare move, didn't dare breathe too loudly. The collection of whispers started to blend together, a low, constant murmur just at the edge of my hearing. I couldn't make out words anymore, just the sibilant, hissing tones of their conversation. They were talking about me, I knew it. I don't know when I finally lost consciousness. Maybe I fainted from fear, or maybe my mind just shut down to protect itself. When I woke up, sunlight was streaming through my window. The room was bright, warm, and completely, utterly empty. The silence was real this time, normal. For a moment, I thought it was all a nightmare. A horribly vivid, terrifying nightmare. I sat up, my body aching from being so tense. I looked around the room. Everything was exactly as I'd left it. The door was still locked. Nothing was out of place. But then I looked at the wall I had been facing all night, and my blood ran cold. Scratched into the plaster in thin, jagged lines were words. hundreds of them, overlapping, chaotic, covering the entire surface from the head of my bed to the corner. And right next to where my head had been resting, one sentence was carved deeper than the rest, clear as day. "We're so glad you can hear us now. See you tonight." So now I'm sitting here in the daylight staring at this wall. I haven't moved. The sun is starting to set. And I have a question for you. What do I do when it gets dark? Because I don't think I can face the wall tonight. But I'm even more terrified of what I'll see if I don't. Thanks for listening. If you've ever experienced something you can't explain, let me know in the comments. And maybe follow for an update. If I make it through the night,